60 kilometers per hour. That's the maximum speed limit for petroleum and haulage trucks. This clarification was made at a meeting with concerned groups in the downstream sector following the death of over a dozen students of the Aviation University last week and other recent crashes involving petroleum trucks. Our correspondent Gloria Umezoke reports.
In the middle of a fuel crisis that has continued to frustrate many Nigerians, major players in the downstream sector gathered in this hall at the instance of the FRSC Corps Marshal, not to discuss the crisis, but frequent crashes involving petroleum tankers that has destroyed several lives. The stakeholders took turns to analyze the major challenges facing truck drivers on the roads.
Sometimes if you go to other roads, you cannot believe you are in Nigeria. You cannot believe you are in a country, one of the largest economy in Africa. You can't believe it. Over 75% of the 1200 tire will sink in water from between Lagos to Benin, or between Lagos to Oyo, or between Port Harcourt to Enugu. And the brake system of the trailer and tankers is not compared with the brake system of the private commercial vehicles. So the attitude, once they saw a trailer, I will quickly overtake it. I will quickly go over it. They will not stop for him.
I'd like you to request the sector commander in Lagos to give you the report of what normally happens between Ojota and Ketu every evening. What you see is some area boys are always around that location. Anytime there's a trailer coming, anytime there's a tanker coming, they jump into the tanker, and sometimes forcefully they even open the door and sit with the driver. In such a situation, anything can happen.
The frequent crashes has undoubtedly brought huge grief to many families. It is in line with this that the FRSC announced the decision of tanker drivers to peg the speed limit at 60 kilometers per hour.
No truck that is not large with container will leave Lagos, will impound it until they fix it. And it's an order. It must not. So see how many lives have been lost on Apapa Shoki that it will just fall off. 11 students lost like that on Friday. It's not correct.
The determination to cooperate with the FRSC is palpable here, as well as the call on the government to ensure that proper infrastructure is put in place to curb the growing spate of accidents in the country. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
The recurring traffic across Apapa has been a major headache for port operators, revenue-generating agencies, even road users. The situation is now worsened owing to bad roads and the rainy season, and businesses that are usually transacted in hours now take days. Our big story tonight takes a look at the traffic gridlock in the port community, Apapa.
Apapa community, located in Nigeria's commercial nerve center, Lagos, is home to major seaports, terminals, jetties and oil tank farms. With all categories of ports handling different cargoes, the complex is unique as it takes delivery of thousands of containers daily while generating huge revenue for government. Today, major corridors leading to the ports are in deplorable conditions. All the access lanes to the ports have been taken over by these tankers and container trucks who are heading to pick up their products. Some of the operators lament the effect on their business.
You have a situation where people cannot take delivery of their cargo. Because trucks cannot come into the ports, the clearing agents cannot come into the ports. It even affects the resumption time of the releasing officers, about customs officers and the rest of them. And it all falls back on the terminal operator. So it is, I think we are the most hit. It is affecting our operation. It is affecting the resumption time of even our workers.
I thought by now I should have gotten there, and I have an appointment again somewhere in Alausa. but I was just held up here.
At the Mile 2 end, the tale is no different. The Tinkan Island port was built in the 70s to ease port congestion. The access road constructed along with it then is now in bad shape, with potholes causing heavy traffic.
The roads to the port must be fixed. The NMPC pipelines must be fixed and monitored. Because if that is done, from Atlas Cove, we can pump petroleum products to Ejigbo, Mosimi. It can go as far as Ibadan, Ilorin, and even Ore. Dispersing these trucks that gather in Lagos.
These truck drivers say they have to tax themselves to effect temporary repairs on the bad road to enable them pick up their goods from the port. They say self-help becomes a solution for now when little or no assistance is coming from the government.
The container of a thing is not the issue, but the road are bad. I think you can see our men now. All this thing you are seeing is the effort from our union dues. Before we can get all these things, it costs us a lot because our property is getting damaged.
Now I've been in this line since 1 week and now. From Apapa to first gate, now my Papa have expired 2 days and I've never did it. So as I'm doing it, I'm happy. This is sufferness. And sufferness, my guys don't finish for here now. Since how many days I've been here, no sleeping.
A promise made and kept by the Lagos State government to visit Apapa could also be a sign of relief to operators and those living across the route.
We will do a 24/7 monitor of the traffic. In relation to the road, the part of it that we can do, the potholes, we'll do it quickly. But we also implore the federal government to ensure that the contractor that they've given the Apapa road network to should come back to site immediately.
By the time we have a very good infrastructure development around Apapa area, then free flow of traffic, less criminality, less room for hoodlums to come around, then it's going to be a good partner between the police and the state government, enable us to actually reduce all form of criminality around this Apapa axis.
With the pronouncements by the new administration to look into other areas of revenue generation, the maritime sector is one area to better explore. It is, however, important that all the barriers hindering the effectiveness of services in the sector should be tackled in good time.
It is hoped business will improve once that is done. Business News is up next.
First Bank. You first.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshewa Josh. Well, the Cross River State Government has sealed a $555 million deal with Israeli firm Broad Spectrum Industrial Services. The agreement was sealed at the governor's office in Calabar, the state capital, between the state governor, Senator Ben Ayade, and a team of investors led by the chief executive, Michael LeHarvey. The project financing deal is expected to fund the state's signature projects, which include a 240 kilometers highway between Calabar and Obudu, a seaport, as well as the construction of a cement and mining corporation. In the meantime, Governor Ayade has given a go-ahead to the commencement of the project's execution. Now, the World Bank has approved $200 million, an estimated 39.4 billion naira credit to Lagos State government. A statement issued by the bank says the facility is approved in order to help sustain the state's recent economic growth and assist in poverty reduction. The approval is coming on the heels of the judicious use of the previous facility to fund the third Lagos State Development Policy operation. The credit is expected to fund the state's fiscal sustainability, budget planning and execution, as well as its investment climate. Trading ended bearish at the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. The all-share index is down by 0.38% to close at 32,739.11 points. Christy Cole has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. Nigeria's equities market continued to trade in the negative territory, losing 0.38%, which brought the all-share index to close at 32,739.11 points. Guinness lists the losers table with a 7 naira 28 kobo share price drop. Nigeria Brewers depreciated 3 naira 45 kobo. 7-Up share price is down 3 naira. On the gainers table, Seplat scored a 2 naira 94 kobo share price gain. 40 oil shares are up a naira 97 kobo. PZ appreciated by 1 naira 52 kobo. The banks have continued to trade the most volumes. Access Bank sold 46.68 million shares. Zenith Bank sold 16.87 million shares, while Diamond Bank sold 16 million units. By the close of session, 186 million shares had been exchanged for 1.7 billion naira in 3,257 deals. And that's the Stock Market Report. I am Christy Cole.
Thank you, Christy. Orlando Integrated Oil and Gas Company has clarified earlier reports on its partnership with HV Consortium of investors in the downstream sector. The energy giant released a statement today that a joint venture agreement with Helios and Vitol Group is a cash investment of $276.8 million in its downstream business. The 100% post-investment ownership structure reveals that HV Investments, a subsidiary of Helios Investment Partners, and the Vitol Group will hold 49%, while another Helios affiliate will hold just 2%. The statement says Uando will retain 49% controlling shares under the new structure, while the management structure remains unchanged. Oil prices are up about 1% after U.S. stockpiles rose for the first time in months on the back of high production. And following a 4.2% drop on Wednesday, front-month U.S. crude futures now trade at $56.94 per barrel, dipping 2 cents from the last settlement. Brent crude futures trades at $62.14 per barrel, up 13 cents after dropping 2.5% in the previous session. The contract remains on a downward trend that has been in place since early May. Well, that'll be all on business news tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
First Bank. You first.
The Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group has expressed dissatisfaction with recent government policies that threaten the survival of the industry. PMG says government has handed over the pharmaceutical industry to cartels and syndicates through the introduction of the National Drug Distribution Guidelines. At a press conference in Lagos, the chairman of PMG, Mr. Oke Akma, says that if necessary, authorities do not give the industry the required attention in good time, it may have negative implications on the national security and access to medicines.
Members of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group meeting to deliberate on issues affecting the association. They are dissatisfied with certain government policies they claim is negatively affecting the industry. One of such is the recent adoption of the Common External Tariff. The CET is a policy that places zero tariff on finished imported medicines, while essential raw and packaging materials required by the industry for local medicine production attract 5% to 20%.
What we are trying to do by closing down this market will throw hundreds of thousands of people out of a living job, out of a living wage. And this is what has created problems around the world when you exclude people.
They believe with a population of over 140 million Nigerians, policies in the health sector must be suitable for the managers of the sector.
You know the negative impact
that we have suffered in our economy whenever cartels take over. You know the examples of where cartels have operated in our economy. We are saying if they are allowed to play in the healthcare system, in the healthcare sector, there will be danger to every Nigerian, both low and high, and nobody will be immune from the consequences.
The Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group has, however, resolved to keep talking till a change is felt.
The structure of reporting for the Accident and Investigation Bureau in the country may need to be adjusted if Nigeria is to achieve a safer aviation sector. This is part of the submissions at a forum in Lagos, southwest of Nigeria, to put thought to action over Nigeria's safety ratings. Our aviation correspondent Bukola Jo Ketumbi reports.
According to the International Air Transport Association, 2014 is the safest year ever for commercial aviation. The airline body says there were fewer serious accidents last year than any time in the history of flight. Africa as well as Nigeria also recorded 0 fatal accidents in 2014.
Thank you so much.
Keeping and improving on this record to make the Nigerian sky safer is what has drawn principal actors from the industry to this meeting.
Is a component in the fifth element of the Safer Skies Initiative, which is how can we move from thought to action in solution, actionable points that as Nigerians we can move forward.
While many challenges like an aging workforce, paucity of funds for airline operators and regulatory inconsistency persist, preventing the next accident will include a modification to the structure of accident investigation in the country.
We cannot learn from sweeping reports. You know, it's either they make them independent and tie them straight to the federal government, to Aso Rock or to the Villa, so that their reporting system can be completely disengaged and be factual and truthful so that we can move to the next stage.
Continuous manpower development is also key.
Nigeria is investing heavily in its workforce. Constant training and retraining is a theme that has been embraced across the industry, both public and private sectors alike. The Nigerian government is rising to a challenge. Part of the agenda is revamping the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, that's INCAT in Zaria, for personnel training in critical areas.
Beyond these suggestions, others believe that the autonomy of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority should not be eroded and that equipment necessary to aid air navigation be prioritized. Bukola Jo Ketumbi, Channels Television News.
Next on the news at 10, former champion Rafael Nadal suffers second round upset at Wimbledon, knocked out by Dustin Brown. That's in sports news. Stay with us.